For decades, Dwight Yoakam seemed untouchable. Rejected by Nashville, faced with a band falling apart, and financially crushed by a failed film, he always bounced back. Yet recently, something has shifted. He has been spotted at medical centers in Los Angeles, cancelled shows he would never miss, and spoken with a vulnerability fans rarely hear. The man who ran endlessly now feels the weight of something unavoidable. For the first time, Dwight Yoakam's voice carries a heaviness that signals reflection. But even as he faces uncertainty, his decades-long career shows resilience, grit, and a music legacy that refuses to fade. Pikeville Beginnings. A childhood in coal dust. Dwight Yoakam was born on October 23, 1956, in Pikeville, Kentucky, a place defined by coal dust, poverty, and a constant sense of impermanence. His earliest memories are of families struggling and minds closing, shaping a young boy who understood life's fragility. When the Yoakams moved north to Columbus, Ohio, the transition marked the start of a melancholy that would permeate his songwriting. Route 23 wasn't just a highway. It symbolized the line between childhood and the life he had to navigate. In his hands, the guitar became a refuge, a constant in a world defined by change and uncertainty. The first song, Finding Solace in Music. Dwight's father dabbled in guitar, but quickly gave it up, passing it to 8-year-old Dwight. His first song was written at that tender age, and the guitar became more than an instrument, it was his sanctuary. In Columbus, he tuned into radio stations, playing Johnny Cash and Johnny Horton, absorbing not just melodies, but raw emotional storytelling. Dwight treated every song like a textbook in confession and expression. At school, acting became another avenue to channel his intensity, and roles in plays such as The Miracle Worker showed him the power of moving people, not just entertaining them. Music and performance became intertwined pillars in his life. Teenage years, the Greaser Band. Emerges. By his senior year at Northland High School, Dwight formed the Greaser Band. The group became a local sensation, performing in small clubs and private parties across Columbus. The young musician was restless, eager to explore life beyond Ohio. College, for Dwight, was short-lived. He dropped out of Ohio State University in 1974, convinced that Nashville held the answers to his ambitions. Yet, when he arrived in the country music capital, he encountered a city unprepared for raw honesty. Nashville demanded polish, crossover potential, and smoothness, qualities Dwight had in short supply, but authenticity in abundance. Rejection became a defining force in his early career. Nashville rejection. The hardest lessons. Nashville's response to Dwight Yoakam was far from welcoming. His ripped jeans, Bakersfield twang, and honky-tonk sensibility marked him as an outsider. Executives dismissed him repeatedly with the phrase "too radio," signaling that his rawness didn't fit their vision. Auditioning at Opryland brought polite rejection, chosen only as a backup, not a performer. For Dwight, it wasn't humiliation, but clarity. The industry didn't want him. While others might have stayed, clinging to hope, Dwight left. In 1978, he packed his belongings into a car and drove west. Los Angeles, a city indifferent to conformity, offered freedom and survival. The perfect setting for the outsider to thrive. Los Angeles, the birth of cowpunk. Los Angeles was a revelation for Dwight. Working menial jobs by day, he played clubs by night, finding audiences who didn't care about genre, but craved honesty. Punk venues like Madame Wong's, the Hong Kong Cafe, and Al's Bar welcomed his raw country sound. The crowds may not have understood country music, but they recognized authenticity. Dwight's grit, emotional intensity, and unpolished energy resonated with a scene defined by rebellion and experimentation. Alongside this community, he helped create what critics would later call cowpunk, a fusion of country storytelling and punk's ferocity. Los Angeles became the canvas for his vision, a place where Dwight's music finally met receptive ears. Meeting Pete Anderson, a creative partnership. Fate introduced Dwight to Pete Anderson in 1982, a guitarist and producer who instantly understood his musical vision. Anderson became more than a collaborator. He was Dwight's mirror, producer, and guide for nearly 2 decades. Together, they refined the raw energy Dwight brought from Ohio and Los Angeles, preserving authenticity while crafting a sound that could resonate nationally. Their partnership proved that innovation and tradition could coexist. This collaboration allowed Dwight to create music that Nashville had ignored, demonstrating that talent and honesty could bypass conventional expectations. Anderson's insight and Dwight's determination set the stage for a breakthrough that would shock the country music world. The EP that changed everything. In 1984, Dwight borrowed $5,000, using some of a drummer's maxed-out credit card, to record an EP on Oak Records. Its title, defiant, confrontational, signaled a refusal to compromise. Nashville mocked it, but Los Angeles embraced it. Underground audiences responded to its raw energy, storytelling, and unpolished delivery. Punk kids, rockabilly purists, and even skeptics of country music found something undeniable in Dwight's voice. The EP's momentum spread quickly, and soon major labels began to take notice. By 1986, Warner Reprise signed Dwight and reissued the EP as a full-length album, setting the stage for his meteoric rise. Breaking through. Honky-Tonk Man. The album's success stunned the industry. It hit number 1 and remained there for 3 years, going double platinum and spawning 3 hit singles. Dwight Yoakam became the voice of a country revival. Honky-Tonk Man made history as the first country video played on MTV, signaling that Dwight's influence extended far beyond Nashville. He bridged the gap between traditional country and pop culture, bringing Bakersfield sound to a new generation. Yet success came with relentless demands. Dwight pushed himself with non-stop tours, recordings, and public appearances. His personal life, however, began to influence the tone of his music, reflecting themes of loss, reflection, and the fleeting nature of time. Reflection and vulnerability. With the birth of his son Dalton, Dwight's music gained a bittersweet tone. Songs like I Don't Know How to Say Goodbye revealed a tender vulnerability that was almost prophetic. For fans, this marked a shift from the defiant, unbreakable honky-tonk rebel to a man aware of life's fragility. Despite his fame, Dwight's work carried intimacy and honesty, showing the cost of relentless ambition. He was no longer chasing merely success. He was confronting the passage of time, relationships, and personal legacy. Even in uncertainty, he remained a storyteller, capable of moving audiences deeply, capturing both defiance and reflection in equal measure. Legacy and influenced Dwight Yoakam's impact on country music is immeasurable. He revived the Bakersfield sound, brought Buck Owens back into the spotlight, and built a catalog that influenced generations, from Chris Stapleton to Post Malone. He made country music visually and culturally relevant, proving that authenticity could transcend traditional boundaries. Beyond the music, Dwight created a life of stability with Emily Joyce and joy through his son Dalton. For the first time, he wasn't chasing fame, but holding on to something meaningful. His legacy isn't just measured in records sold, but in the hearts he touched, the artists he inspired, and the rules he refused to follow. Conclusion. The cowboy's enduring spirit. Time may be catching up with Dwight Yoakam, but his place in music history is secure. Whether he returns to the stage in a quiet, intimate way or chooses privacy in his later years, his story remains a testament to resilience, innovation, and honesty. He defied Nashville, Hollywood, and life itself, leaving behind a body of work that will outlive headlines and rumors. Dwight Yoakam's journey reminds us that even the strongest legends carry vulnerability, yet through it all, his voice, rebellion, and artistry continue to resonate, ensuring that the honky-tonk cowboy's legacy will never fade.